Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Chase Something podcast, where each week I bring you tips, tactics, and strategies to live a more fulfilling life. Today, I'm talking about self-confidence, what it is, what the benefits of it are, what the negative things are, and how you can start to implement it into your life. If you've got a pen, pad, or paper, or if you want to record this episode, I encourage you to do so, because I'm going to drop some gems here that I promise you, if you apply into your life, you will start to build self-confidence. Once I realized what I was going to get into this week on this one, I started writing and it didn't stop. So I've got notes galore on the table. Bear with me, but let's get right into it, guys. First things first is, what is self-confidence? To me, in my life, it's the thoughts, concepts, and beliefs that I hold true to be about myself. It's me keeping the promises that I make to me, right? If you don't keep the promises you make to you, then you do not have confidence in yourself. So what are some of the benefits of having self-confidence in your life? I believe that there are at least 6 key points. One of them being is personal empowerment, right? So self-confidence allows you to feel empowered in your life because you believe that you can achieve your goals, right? You can accomplish these things. Positive self-image. This is a huge one for me. Because I still to this day sometimes don't have a positive self-image. I'll stand in the mirror and I don't see the guy that's standing there. So this is something that is important. When you build self-confidence, you build a positive self-image. Next is resilience, right? So self-confidence allows me to, if I have a setback or a failure, to say, hey, just because I had that setback or failure doesn't mean that that's the end there. I can try again. Then taking risks. Self-confidence really boosts your ability to take risks because you're confident in the fact that whatever obstacle may come in front of you, that you're going to find a way to be able to get around it, right? And so then you also have communication, which is a giant one. This is great for not only yourself, but for every relationship that you have. And when you're self-confident, you go into communication being able to relay your point in a, I hope, kind manner to any individual. And that's because you're confident in what you're saying, you believe in what you're saying, and you believe that what you are saying is true to yourself, right? And if you're not confident, you're not going to communicate with people properly because you are not going to be able to go into a conversation and actually tell people how you really feel. So if you really want to have great communication, you got to have great self-confidence. And then last but not least here, guys, is also personal development, which is something that I've obviously experienced in my own life. And if you don't have self-confidence, you're not going to want to develop, right? So if I am achieving things, I see that I'm achieving things, and I want to continue to grow because of that, I'm building self-confidence, right? And if I'm not confident, again, I'm not going to want to achieve things because I don't think that I can do it. So I want to get right into that. Now that we know what some of these positives are, what are the negatives if you lack self-confidence, right? And so one of those things is negative self-talk. Again, this is something that we all experience in life. Negative thoughts come and go. The key here is not allowing yourself to dwell on negative thoughts, right? We can't control the thoughts that do come in and out of our awareness, but we can control what we dwell on. And so if you've got negative self-talk, you've really got to start shutting that down, because what you will do is continue to degrade yourself. And when you degrade yourself, you start to lack self-confidence. Next is comparisons on social media. Again, this is another big thing because social media tends to only show us the best things in life in everybody else's life, right? And so then we compare ourselves to them. Oh, well, I'm not doing what they're doing. We're the same age. They've got all these things. They've got this beautiful life. And truth is every single person on this planet, no matter how successful they are, have the same problems you do. They have the same suffering that you do. People are going to die in their lives. They're going to lose relationships. They're going to have jobs that end. They're going to get it going and it's going to stop. Every single person on this planet has that, but it's how they respond. And the winners are only winners because when adversity hit, they didn't allow that to stop them from going where they wanted to go. Next is a lack of support from friends and family. And this is another big one, right? If you don't have a good support system, especially from the people that you care about the most, you are not going to believe in yourself the way that you want to, because you want them to accept you for who you are. And if you think that you could be this other person, right? This big, gigantic, brilliant, amazing person, which you can be, but your family doesn't see that, you start to, again, depreciate yourself. So you got to get around people who want to support you and lift you. And that is a big, big thing. Birds of a feather flock together. And this is something that I've talked about in the past. And now I want to get to how to build self-confidence, right? And there are a few things here that I have noticed for myself that have worked that I would like to relay to you, right? And this is practicing self-compassion. I didn't used to be compassionate with myself. I used to beat myself up if I didn't get out and run. I would call myself lazy. When in truth be told, I was being lazy, but I was also being negative to myself. When I start to be compassionate with myself that, hey, maybe your body is tired. Hey, maybe you do need to rest. Hey, it's okay to take a break once in a while, right? It's okay to be compassionate with yourself. You are a human being. And that's something that you have to start doing. Don't be overcritical of yourself. Another thing here is also treating yourself with kindness, right? You got to replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Then by setting smaller goals, I want you to imagine, I'm not telling you not to set big goals. I want you to do that. But set the smaller ones, because when you can start to see those and achieve those, now you're building the self-confidence to go ahead and, hey, I want to take a step to this next level. I want to take a step to this next level. And then you start to wonder how far you can go. But make sure that you start with achievable goals. And then once you go through the achievable goals, then you start to set the standard for higher, more hard, more difficult, more unbelievable goals, right? Then it's celebrating your wins. This is, again, another huge thing for me because I find myself not allowing myself to celebrate my wins sometimes. There'll be times in business where I have a fantastic month. Maybe it was a 10 grand month, but I don't allow myself to celebrate that. Instead, I'm always looking to the next objective, the bigger goal. And truth be told is when you deprive yourself of that too much, you start to lower the dopamine that your body will produce for the goals that you achieve. And eventually, you're not going to want to achieve any of your goals at all because you've never given yourself the congratulations for achieving anything that you've done. So make sure, no matter how big or small that your wins are, that you are giving yourself the credit for those wins. You're in the arena and you're doing the thing. And that's something that you need to be proud of. Last but not least is stepping out of your comfort zone. This is a big one. When you step out of your comfort zone, now what you thought wasn't possible for you, you start to realize is possible. And your self-confidence goes through the roof. You know, I used to think I couldn't do these things or I couldn't do these things. And then you started doing those things and you were like, man, if I can do this, I wonder what else I can do, right? And so that is a huge one. I hope that this episode helped you guys this week. I know this is kind of crazy. I had a lot of notes to take here. This was really great for myself. And this is an important thing for you too, is when you start to think about these things, write it out, write it down, because I promise you, you're opening doors not only for yourself, but for other individuals as well. And if you liked this episode, please like it, please subscribe, please share it. It helps tremendously in the algorithm. The last few months have been amazing, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that I can continue to bring value to your lives. I hope to see you next Monday right here on the Chase Something podcast. Have a good night.